We got the big NFC matchup Sunday evening. Oh, Aaron Rodgers, you're the greatest quarterback I've ever seen. And he's got Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll coming into town, Mike. To me, this is the most intriguing matchup of the weekend because this is the one that I think is the most 50-50, at least in my mind. I don't know how you feel, Mike, but what do you think here? How does this game go?
Well, it's funny. We say from time to time that Russell Wilson doesn't get the credit he deserves. Have you heard that one before?
I have.
The fact that you haven't given him a song confirms that he doesn't get the credit he deserves.
You're right. I need to get him one because I got Mahomes, I got Rodgers, I got Deshaun Watson. I'll come up with something for Russell Wilson. Just give me a little time. I need to get my creative juices flow.
All right, well, you think of that. I'll explain what I think is going to happen at Lambeau Field. And this really is a toss-up to me. I'm surprised the spread is 4 points. And home field advantage obviously is a factor in that. I could see either team winning this game. A lot of people think that we just make guesses, and it really isn't a guess. It's an educated effort to try to analyze what we think is going to happen based on past events and the way we see things unfolding on Sunday. But this one is the closest one to a guess this week. The Seahawks, if they were at home, Chris, I would pick the Seahawks to win this game by 10 or more points. But on the road, you've got to credit and factor in Lambeau Field and the weather potentially. Even if it's not going to snow, it's going to be cold. It's going to be a factor for the Seahawks. And the Packers, both teams are just kind of unpredictable to me. Both teams have won games they should have lost. Right? Both games, I think, have achieved more than their talent would justify. And that's why I look at this one as a toss-up. And I think ultimately at the end of the day, I'm going to – and here's the factor, the key factor for me. If I'm right that the Vikings win, then the Packers know they host Minnesota the following week when they play the game the next day. If the Vikings win, I think the Packers are more likely to win. If the Vikings lose, I think the Seahawks are going to win the game because the Packers are not going to want to go back to San Francisco and get their butts kicked all over again. So, because I'm going out on a limb and picking the Vikings, that's influencing me to go with the Packers because they're going to see an opportunity to get to the Super Bowl because they think they can handle the Vikings, and maybe they can.
Yeah, I think that is a real point. I think you're right. I mean, I think, that will motivate a team if they went, oh, my gosh, Minnesota's won. We could have the NFC Championship game here at home to where, it might, just be a little daunting to go, gosh, we got to go out to San Francisco and play that team again, the team that dominated us thoroughly the first time we saw them. Jeez Louise. So I don't disagree with that kind of psychoanalysis there. I think you're onto that. There's just so many. I don't know where I'm going to go with this game. I'm literally still trying to figure this out as I talk to you. So here's my big thing. First off, the weakness to the Packers on the defense, it is their run defense. It's been one of their issues all year long, but it's been better down the stretch. And then, okay, yes, it's not a great run defense, but are the Seattle Seahawks a great running team right now? I don't know if they're good enough up front to take advantage of it, right, Mike? I mean, you got two backup running backs. Even if Dwayne Brown and Ayupati play, I don't think they're going to be 100%. They didn't play at all last week, so that's a little scary. And then the other side of it, I just go, okay, if there's a weakness to the Seattle Seahawks, their defense, it's their secondary. And I go, does Green Bay have enough weapons there to take advantage of that as well? I'm just not sure. I mean, we know Adams and Rodgers are good, but, to be really good on offense in the passing game, you need more than just one guy. I mean, you just need it more. And that's where I get into this confused state here of I don't know who I'm going to pick. I think this is going to be a very close football game. You've heard me say, if I'm Mike Pettin, wouldn't you, Mike? You tell me. If you were playing the Seattle Seahawks right now, wouldn't you say, you know what? I don't think your run game's all that right now. I'm going to play pass coverage and put safeties back. Prove to me you can run the ball. Would you or would you not? Or am I crazy for that thought?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah. And we saw Jim Schwartz, the Eagles defensive coordinator, not do it last week.
Right.
So I think you need to, if you want to win the game. Now, it could be you want to force the issue, right? And you're willing to take some chances and you're going to trust your secondary. But if it's not working early, you better switch out of it.
That's right.
At some point, you've got to acknowledge that, yes, DK Metcalf, even though he's a rookie, he is still pretty good. And I think the Packers will have a different attitude about that than the Eagles did.
Yeah, I would hope so. I would hope Mike Pettin evaluates that and looks at that. On the other side, too, I don't know if we think of Green Bay and we go, I think both of us agree that Aaron Jones has to be kind of the focal point of what they do on offense, right? And Pete Carroll is one of those old school defensive coaches where his first thought is stop the run. Let's crowd the line of scrimmage. Let's stop the run. Let's not let that, let's not let them get rolling there, and then let Aaron Rodgers and Aaron Jones off a play action fake start burning us this way. I'm very torn between this game, and I think I'm going to go with the Seattle Seahawks to win this one. I am. I just think Seattle, they rise to the occasion in these type of games. Pete Carroll has created an atmosphere of like, they're like rabid. They love this. Big lights, big game, big situation. And I think in my heart of hearts, I look at Seattle in a really close game. And man, this is hard for me to go against Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay because you said it. They're tough up there. I just think Seattle has a few more difference makers on their roster right now than Green Bay. In a really close game where I go, okay, it's a push between Rodgers and Wilson. I go, ooh, the receivers for the Seahawks are more talented. They can make plays. And then I look at like Jadeveon Clowney and that Seattle front to where I think they can create some havoc and make some plays too. I'm going to go Seahawks 24-21, pulling off the upset, and therefore going to San Francisco the next week for the NFC Championship game. Woo!
So we both see an NFC Championship involving two teams from the same division.
Yeah, right.
We just have picked different divisions. I've got Vikings-Packers round 3. You've got Seahawks-49ers round 3. And frankly, Seahawks-49ers round 3 would be a much better game, I think, and a much more exciting game. And by the way, my score is 24-21 Packers, so we've got the exact same score.
Baby.
We're just flipping it.
Oh, baby. I like it. I like it a lot. We got two differences here. I can make up the ground this week. I'm just saying.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.